Hey students, welcome back to our online discussion of the second chapter of the fourth unit from your Marigold book. Alright, so today we are going to discuss about the fifth part from the chapter My Elder Brother, and this is going to be the last part, as in it is going to be the last discussion of the text from this chapter. So you see, it has been, the whole text was divided into 5 parts, okay, so that you people could understand every single thing easily. Though the chapter was divided in only 3 scenes, it has been, for online purpose, it has been divided into 5 different parts. Like all other days, today also we are going to have a look at the things that we have already discussed in the last video. So in the very beginning, we saw that Bhaiya has failed once again in his class, but Munna gets promoted. Okay, this happened for the second time. Munna becomes naughtier and spends more time in playing. Yes, he became overconfident and he thought that spending more time in playing and, being spending it with his friends would be better than spending that time in studies. So at last we saw that Bhaiya explains that understanding does not always come from reading books. Okay, and he also gives examples of his parents. So today we'd see what Munna's reaction is on hearing all this. Okay, so when Bhaiya gives examples of their parents, Munna listens to it and he says, "Really, Bhaiya? Is that true?" Okay, so he had no idea about this, that his mother had never gone to school and that his father had only studied till class 5. So Bhaiya says, yes, there are 1,000 things that they know more than you or me. And students, how is that possible? How do they know more than the kids? It's simply because they are older and they have more experience in life. And even if we have studied the wisdom of the world, Ma and Baba will always have the right to explain to us and correct us. Let us see what wisdom means. So, wisdom is the ability to use your knowledge and experience to make good decisions and judgments. Okay, so you also need to be very judicious in being in taking decisions. So just because you have studied a lot, you have many degrees, doesn't mean that you will also be able to, identify the right things and the wrong things. And it doesn't guarantee that you will always take good decisions in life. It's all about what you have learned and what your experience is. It's all understanding. Okay. So the more you grow, the more knowledge you have about every single thing. So you become more wise. So now that you know what wisdom means, here it has been, used by Bhaiya in the sense that even if Munna and Bhaiya have, that they are going to school, they live in a hostel, and they are quite, like Munna is quite good in studies, and Bhaiya is also working hard. Even though they have learned everything, even if they know a lot about, worldly affairs, still their parents will always be their parents, and their parents will always have the right to explain and correct them. Okay, so it's applicable to you people also, students. You are in class 5 now, fine, but when you grow up, even if you go to college and universities, and even though if you have a very good job, it doesn't mean that you can surpass your parents. No, you can never cross them. Okay, so parents are somebody, even if they have not gone to school, even they have not gone to college or university, they would always know more than you. Okay, so you may know more about mathematical formulas and scientific stuffs and all, but then the essence of life, the knowledge of life would always be more in their case. Okay, they would always know more than you. So this is something that you can also apply in your life. Now Bhaiya asks, what would you do if I were to fall sick today? Okay, so this is a question that Bhaiya asks, that what would be Munna doing if Bhaiya falls sick? Munna says, I don't know, Bhaiya. I would tell Baba and he would rush to the hostel. Okay, so what is rush? Let us see. The word rush means to go or do something very quickly. In the picture, you can see there are three people and they are running and they're almost rushing towards something. You can see it as if these people are going to their office and they're rushing to their office. Okay, like when you are coming to school in the morning, you also are in a hurry. Yes, you are rushing and you are in a great hurry to get ready and to come to school. Okay, so that is also called a rush. Okay, so Munna says that he doesn't know what he will do if Bhaiya falls sick. Since he's a little boy, he gets scared. So he would first tell their father, he would first tell their Baba, and then his father would rush to the hostel. Okay, he would, come speedily to the hostel to check if if his son is all right or not. So Bhaiya says, aha, I had expected this answer. Okay. Now, Baba would not get upset. He would first try to find out what was wrong and then he would call a doctor. Baba would know exactly what to do. Okay, now see the difference, students. Here we are dealing with a boy, Munna, who is right now studying in class 8, and on the other hand, it is his Baba, who has studied only till class 5. Okay, so Munna is 3 years ahead than his father in terms of formal education, but you see who has more presence of common sense. It is the father. You see, if Bhaiya falls sick, first thing Munna would do is he would call their father, because he cannot do anything on his own. But what would father do? He would not panic. He would not be scared. At very first, and it is written, he would not get upset. So he would not be sad. Upset also means sad. Okay. He would first try to understand what is the problem, what exactly has happened, and then he would call a doctor. Okay. So Baba would know exactly what to do. Okay. So you see, they have more experience than us. Okay, so you see, somehow you must have seen that parents always have a solution for everything, even if they're not able to help you directly, but somehow they always say something or they always come up with something which you find very, very helpful. So the same thing happens in this case as well. And Bhaiya says they have more experience than us. Okay, let us first see what experience exactly is. Experience means a knowledge or skill from doing, seeing, or feeling things. Okay, you see, students, it is not just something that you are reading in the books, but it is something that you learn, a kind of knowledge that you learn, or a kind of skill that you learn from doing something, from seeing something, from observing things, and from feeling things. Okay, so you see, a father who was only educated, who had been educated only till 5, has more common sense than his son who is in standard 8. Okay, now you cannot compare them. You cannot talk about formal education here, because father is more experienced. He has seen a lot in life. Okay, so even though Munna is 3 years ahead of his father, but that doesn't mean that Munna has also gone ahead of his father in terms of age. No, Munna is very young. Okay, so that is why he doesn't have the experience of the outside world. He is learning bookish things, but then he has not done or seen or felt things the way his father has. So, when Bhaiya says they have more experience than us, he is absolutely correct. Yes, so parents always have more experience than us. So, Munna, now with tears in his eyes, okay, this information has been put in brackets. So, this is an extra information that is being provided to you. He is crying now. Not exactly crying, but he has little tears in his eyes. Remember, class, when you are watching any film, if it is a sad film, you don't cry like you would cry if you were being scolded. No, you wouldn't cry like that, but you get teary-eyed, you have tears in your eyes. Yes, because you feel sad. Okay, so the same thing happened with Munna. And then Munna says, I'm sorry. Bhaiya, what you say is true. Okay, so Munna is apologizing to Bhaiya. Now he has understood that he was being very proud, and now he has understood why parents would always be like our elders would always be more experienced, and why they will always have a right on the younger people. So at last we see, now this is towards end we have come. In the brackets we can see Bhaiya hugs Munna lovingly. What is hug? A hug is an act of holding someone tightly in one's arms, typically to express affection. Okay, so you see, students, in this picture, a mother and daughter, they are holding each other tightly. That means they are hugging each other. Okay, so hugging means when you are tightly, you are holding on to somebody, okay, just to express your love. That means you are hugging them. So now also you people must be hugging your parents. Yes, whenever you are happy, whenever you are sad, you hug your friends. Yes, when the school reopens and when you would be meeting after so many days, all of you would give each other hugs. You'd be very happy to see each other. Yes, so that would be an expression of affection, an expression of love. Okay, students. Now you see a smaller part has been attached here. Now try to understand. I know it's a bit unclear, but still I think if you have the book in your hands, you will be able to identify which part this is. This is the extreme end of the chapter. So Bhaiya, after giving each other a hug, Bhaiya says, I also like to play and fly kites. But if I also play, then how can I watch out for you? See, like I said, students, Bhaiya is also a young boy. He also likes to enjoy his life. But then he also wants to set an example for his little brother. You see, whenever a person becomes older, okay, and they get lots of responsibilities in their life, and they have some what should I say, like if you have an older brother and sister, you would always be looking up to them. Yes, now if they are being naughty, and if they are being very rude, and they always watch TV and fight with you, do you think it will have a good influence on you? It will not, because if your brothers or sisters, the older ones, if they are good in studies, if they are very good in behavior, if they are setting up a good example for you, so it will automatically have a very good influence on you. Yes, so this is why the older siblings, you already know what siblings are. Brothers and sisters are also called siblings. You have already learned this in your EVS. Okay, so the older ones always have to put up a good image so that the younger ones can learn from them. Okay, so in this case also, if Bhaiya was also as notorious as Munna, if he also spent his time in playing, then what would Munna learn? Okay, so this is the reason he says that I also like to play, I also like to fly kites, but if I am being naughty, then who would watch out for you? Okay, let us see what watch out means. Okay, students, so see this picture. This is a picture of a policeman, not of India, but of some other country, because he has this yellow colored hair. He's a blonde. Okay, so you see, he is, being very alert about something. Okay, he's very agile. He is very alert. He'll not let any kind of danger to take place. Okay, so watching out means to be alert. Okay, so to be watchful, to be careful, to be alert. Okay, so when Bhaiya says that how can I watch out for you, it means that if I'm also being naughty, then who will be alert? Okay, who will be alert among us, and how will I take care of you? How will I, be watchful towards you? Okay, you are my responsibility. And Munna says, I love you, Bhaiya. He expresses his love for his Bhaiya in the end. Okay, so I know most of you already know what the meaning of responsibility is, but still let us have a look at it. A responsibility is a duty to deal with something or having control over someone. Okay, so when you people come to school, you are your teacher's responsibility. So your studies, your welfare, your, everything about you is under your teacher's responsibility. Okay, but the moment you go home, you become your parents' responsibility. So when somebody has a duty to deal with something or to protect someone, okay, so they have the responsibility of that particular person. All right, in the picture you can see there's this cartoon which is having so many arrows. Okay, so these are paper cut arrows. Now don't think of it as only paper cut arrows. You can also see these things as responsibility. So he has taken the responsibility on his shoulders, and he has to carry on his responsibility in a perfect manner. All right, so you see, when Bhaiya says that he has to take responsibility of his little brother, it means that he will have to watch out for his little brother, because you see, he has more responsibility because their parents are also not living here. These two brothers are living alone in a hostel. Okay, so this is the reason why brother Bhaiya has to take Munna's responsibility. Okay, so remember, students, in the last video, in the fourth part of the video where we discussed about the fourth part, I had given you one topic which was food for thought. Okay, and the question was, do you think that formal education is the only way to become wise and experienced in life? I hope all of you have given a deep thought into it. Okay, so you see, the answer to this question would be no. Formal education is not the only way to become wise and experienced in life. Okay, like we saw in the case of Munna's parents only. Munna has studied till class 8, but he doesn't have common sense. He has common sense, but when he is face to face with danger or with an uncomfortable situation, he doesn't know what exactly to do. But his father, who has studied only till class 5, does know this. Okay, and he knows that there's nothing to be worried about. There's no need to panic, and instead of just being very upset about his son's sickness, he would call a doctor. Okay, so you see, not just this, but their mother, who has not gone to school. We just get this information about their mother, that she has not gone to school. We don't know anything other than that. But do you think these brothers just because if they achieve degrees, and if they go to college and university, and if they have a lot of degrees, they would always be knowing more than their mother? Yes, maybe they will know more than their mother, but still, do you think their mother, in terms of wisdom and experience, they can surpass their mother? They can cross their mother? No, they never can. No child ever can cross their parents in terms of wisdom and experience. Parents always know what is good for you. Even though you have become the president of India or the prime minister of India, still you would always be a little child for your parents. Okay, so let us have a quick recap of all the things that have been discussed in this video. So we saw Bhaiya explains to Munna that formal education is not everything. Then he also says that their parents will always be wiser than the kids because of their experience. Again, we have discussed this as well. Then we see that Munna feels sorry for his actions, and this is the reason why he says sorry to his brother. In the end, both the brothers tightly hug each other. Okay, so this is how the chapter is ending. And students, this is a chapter where you can get lots of moral values, and we have discussed all the sorts of moral values that are here. I hope you will apply all the things that you have learned in this video, in this chapter. You will apply those things in your life as well. Okay, kids. So this is the end of today's discussion. I'll come up with another video where we'll have a discussion of the question answers, and also an extra marks video will be there. So students, stay safe and goodbye.